All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel here at Live Life in Maine. It's the new year, so it's time for a market update. Today, I'm going to go over the 2025 January numbers for Maine. You know, I get calls, texts, emails all the time asking me what it's like to live here in Maine. Can you help me sell some property? Can you help me buy some property? Starting to get a lot more inquiries from investors now as they realize this is a pretty good state to invest in. Excuse me. I gotta, every time I get on this camera, I get an itchy nose. I don't know why that is. And I've been battling the code. So today we're going to break down the January numbers. We're going to see what's happening in the market right now. The market is shifting, and I always believe it's imperative for you to understand whether you're going to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in Maine, or any place for that matter, that you're well informed. So sit back. This isn't going to be a very long video. It's going to be in a market update of 2025 January for the real estate market. And I'm going to do all of Maine, York County, Cumberland, Androscoggin, Kennebec, and Penobscot counties, which is where the majority of people live. And if that sounds of interest to you, we're going to get after it right now. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. As I said, my name is Scott Tebow. I'm a broker with eXp Realty. I'm also an investor. I'm a business owner. I own properties. I'm a father, a husband, a grandfather, yada, yada, yada. Lived here my whole life. If you've seen some of my other videos, I pretty much explain who I am. But I want to try to make these videos a little bit shorter to keep your attention a little longer, because sometimes I do know I have the gift of gab. So I'm going to get into the January numbers for Maine for the real estate marketplace. And this is for single family homes only, and help you understand what's going on right now in the Maine marketplace, because the market is shifting. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to look at the whole state of Maine, and we're going to compare this year's or January 2025 numbers to January of 2024 numbers, and help you understand what's going on right now in the state of Maine as a whole. So I'm going to throw up on the screen right now Maine, and then let's break it down. So the average days on market in Maine in 2025 across the entire state again is 58 days. It's taken 58 days from a house to go on the market to when it comes off the market or when it closes. So that's almost 2 months. And that's up something like 12 days from last year, this time, which was 46. Sale to original list price. So what does that mean? That means that if you're a seller, you hired somebody, you hired a broker like me or somebody else, a realtor, to sell your home, and he or she listed it. And then by the time it's sold for, in this example, 93.6% of what you originally asked for the price. So it sold for essentially, 6.4% less than you were originally asking for, or the broker originally listed it for when they put it on the market. And that's down, which means trending better for buyers. That's down from 2024 when it was 94.4. So you're getting a little bit more than you are now. Inventory across the state of Maine in terms of how much is available is approximately, for what's on the market, if nothing else came on the market, came on the real estate market for the entire state of Maine, it would take 3.88 months for all that inventory to be moved and sold off. And that's also up from January of 2024 when it was 3.39 months. So what that says is the market is cooling and the market is shifting. Buyers are starting to get more leverage than they've had probably in the last 4 or 5 years. Median sale price across the entire state of Maine is $388,000. This is up from last year of $353,000. So houses, from an investment standpoint, if you're an investor, is still a good market to invest in. They're taking longer to close, but the market is still rising slowly, at least across the entire state of Maine. And right now there's 3,160 properties on the market across the entire state of Maine. In 2024, there was 2,553 in January of last year. So again, it shows you that there's more inventory on the market. Things are slowing down a little bit more. And this is why those numbers are happening. All right. So normally, guys, what I do is I look at Maine and I look at where most of the people live, right? So first and foremost, I think you already know this, that if you look at Maine, if you're not from here, the majority of people live in southern Maine. I think like 60% of the population, or maybe half the population, lives in southern Maine. What is southern Maine? I consider it kind of southern Maine, Augusta south, although Augusta is really considered central Maine. So really, when I really look at this, the majority of people live in York and Cumberland counties, or a vast majority of the people live in York and Cumberland counties here in Maine. Those are the two biggest populous counties in the state. So let's look at York County first. York County is the first county you come into when you enter Maine. You got Biddeford, where I live in that county. You got Saco, you got Kennebec, you got Wells. And you have more homes to choose from. If you look at days on market in York County, it's now 48 compared to 33 this time last year. So that's over a 2-week increase on how much longer it's taken to sell property in York County than it was this time last year. Sale to original list price, again, about 97% of what was originally listed for houses are being sold compared to 96.9. So about the same in 2024. Inventory, there's 2.56 months of inventory on the market now in York County compared to 2.4. Again, more inventory in the market than there was this time last year. However, the median price of houses have gone up, and this is because York County is pretty much the coastal county, right? It's the whole county is on a flat, not all of it, but most of it is. It's all beach on one side of it, obviously, and there's a lot of people that love living in York County because it's proximity to Boston and other, New Hampshire and whatnot. So the average, the median price for a house. Excuse me, guys, I've been fighting a little bit of a cold. I said in January, in York County is $555,000. Yeah, last year this time it was $474,000. So those are just January numbers. We'll see how that flushes out as we get into February and March, as we get right into the dead of winter. And then there's 358 active listings right now in York County compared to 290 in 2024. So you're having more houses to choose from in York County. However, the price is getting up there. It's still a very desirable area to live. More and more people, specifically, I want to say a lot of people from out of state are moving into this county because of its proximity. Like I said, it is driving prices up. It's, I guess I said the secret's not out anymore. So York County, kind of what's going on in January of 2025. Let's head up the coast to Cumberland County. Cumberland County is the second county you get into when you come into Maine from New Hampshire. That's where you got Portland. That's where you got Westbrook. That's where you got Falmouth. That's where you got Brunswick. That's where Portland's the largest city in Maine. And in Cumberland County, days on market is 40 days compared to what it was 33 days this time last year. So again, days on market is still going up. Sale to original list price, 96.8 compared to 97.6. So again, sellers are getting a little less than they originally were last year in terms of what if they put the house on the market as terms of a percentage of what they were asking for. Months of inventory, 2.23. This is also up compared to 1.99, which shows, again, the market is cooling. And the median sale price, which I was shocked, is actually less than it was in York County in January, of $549,500 compared to $527,500 this time last year. And there's currently 513 active listings on the market, or there was in January, compared to 398. Yeah, 398 this time last year. So when you think of York County, you see while the inventory is increasing and the home values are really still holding strong, still a really desirable area to live. There's still not. We're like 89,000 units short of housing in general. If we've tried to fill out the entire needs, so I've been told. I said in a last video, I don't think we really have an inventory problem. If I did, I think we're short, but if we really had an inventory problem, you'd see these days on market not lasting as long, not being as big, and you definitely see the inventory list a lot in terms of how long it takes for a property to come off the market. Would definitely be a lot less. Sorry, guys. Like I said, fighting the cold. So, the jury's out. Could we use more inventory? Yeah, but right now the days on the market inventory is going up. So, I mean, we're not selling as fast as we used to what was on the market. That's Cumberland County. Again, it's where you got Portland. I've done some videos about Portland. People love living there. People hate living there. It's one of the best cities to live in, according to the U.S. News and World Report. Do your own research, obviously. Androscoggin County, this is where Lewiston, Auburn is. So if you're in Cumberland, you bang a left, head up 95. You're going to run into Lewiston, Auburn. It's the second largest metropolitan area in Maine, behind the Portland area. And interesting enough, you're going to see a little bit of difference here because of the prices, right? So Androscoggin, 28 days on market compared to 30. So the days on market have come down compared to where they were last year. I think as you see more people pushing away from the coast, actually, you're seeing more stuff happening as you get away from those higher prices across the coast. And this bears it out, right? People are putting their houses on the market. And getting pretty much what they're asking for, 99.7%, compared to this time last year, what was 97.3%. So they were taking like 2.7% less last year compared to just 0.3 of a point less this year. Inventory's still going 2.06. So there's 2.06 months. What's that? 8-9 weeks maybe, compared to 1.81. So the inventory's kicking up. Median sale of a price. This is why I think you're starting to see, especially in Androscoggin County, right? You get that price. Anything below that kind of 450 range, that 500 range, you're going to see things kind of kicking up. I think 400 is like the new average, not average, but the first time starter home price now, if you will. This one's $349 median list price compared to $296. So it did go up, quite a bit. But $349 is still, compared to the rest of the state, is pretty mild, friendly, quiet. And then active listings in January is 96 compared to 107. Sorry, guys, my dog's right there, and she's been a little jumpy. I'll try to tone her out. But moving up the coast, going up to Kennebec, quiet. Going up the coast to Kennebec, where Augusta is. Days on market 37 compared to last year 47. So inventory is moving faster in Kennebec. This is the Augusta area, the Waterville area. Sale to original list price, however, 95 versus 92.4. So while they're getting 95% of what they're asking compared to 92.4 what they're asking for before, still they're taking a 5% shave on what they're putting the house on the market for. And that could be a number of reasons. It could just be competition, could be inspections, could be a number of different things. Inventory in January for Kennebec County, 3.24 months. It's a lot, right? It's over 90 days, 100 days compared to 2.84 prior. And then median sale price, 285 compared to 300. That's pretty low, right? 285,000 versus 300,000. And then active listings, 256 to 193. And then if we're looking at Penobscot County, again, kind of the same thing. This is what Bangor is, Brewer is. You got 62 days on market compared to 48 this time last year. sale to original list price way down, better than it was last year, but still 92.1 compared to 91.8, which is, 7.9% less than what they're at. They're taking 7.9% off the house by the time it closes from when they put it on. And the months of inventory, this is really a buyer's market, 5.14 months, almost half a year. That's kind of a balanced market, right? Sellers and buyers are kind of balanced compared to 3.31 last year. 286,250 was the median price in January of 2025 for a house in the Bangor Brewer Penobscot County region, compared to 229,750. So, those numbers, while they're increased, and this is why I say it's from an investment standpoint, the market is still growing. They're not crazy like you're seeing down in York County, if you will. And then there's 370 active listings in the Penobscot County region compared to 278 this time last year. Guys, I wrote this up, but in closing, right, if you found this information helpful and, informative, as I said, I believe it's important to make sure you make informed decisions when you're buying or investing. This market is definitely shifting. However, that being said, it's still a great market to be selling or buying in or investing in, obviously. But the market is shifting, I think, more so for investors and buyers. Sellers, their heydays, well, other than Cumberland County, maybe, they're things are kind of starting to slow down. So it's really going to talk about, making sure that you have good strategy more than ever today, especially over the last, 4 years since COVID. It's going to be important that you really identify the selling strategy and make sure that you're not priced your house so high that it's going to sit on the market for so long, which obviously creates a stigmatism in people's eyes of what's wrong with this house. And you really got to look at what's going on around you in terms of what's on the market, how long that's been on the market, how does your property compare to what's on the market, and how has that either moved or not moved. Oftentimes I find that sellers believe their house is worth something, and I want to believe it for them, but the reality is the math doesn't lie. It really just doesn't. So you have to look at the market conditions, and maybe we'll tell you that maybe you shouldn't put your house on the market right now. But if you really look at the market conditions, and whoever you're working with can give you, the data that shows this is what's happening in the market, whether it's less or more than what you're offering, you should look at that. I still say, every house that's priced appropriately, like within the market conditions, based upon what's going on in the competitive market analysis and what's going on for that person, for that property, is going to sell, because everybody's going to say, hey, the value is there, right? It's those properties that are just buyers or sellers think, we're still back a couple of years ago and they want the top dollar, and the demand is just not there as much, especially with these interest rates. So until those interest rates come down, I don't think you're going to see a lot of people overpaying for stuff. From an investment standpoint, that's good. I will say another thing, you're starting to see a lot of multi-units come on the market from an investment standpoint. And for me, I do a lot of business with this kind of segment, multi-unit or in investment properties. It really comes down to the capitalization rate, right? Obviously the tenants and what they're paying for rents in the market, and what the market will bear, and what the conditions are in terms of social economics of that area. But a lot of investors I work with, they want to know what the cap rates are, and a lot of them are looking for between 8 and 10% of a capitalization rate. So if you don't know what a capitalization rate is, send me a text, shoot me an email, give me a call. I can break it down to you, so how you can understand how to look at investment properties from a capitalization rate. All this real estate stuff is retail stuff, right? It's what the retail market is. I'm also seeing a lot more pickup in the non-retail market, which I work in quite a bit too. Everything from subject twos to assuming mortgages to private money lending. So, It's an interesting time to be in Maine. It's an interesting time to be in the real estate market. There's a lot of value there. Whether you're a buyer, seller, or investor, I think looking at Maine from a holistic point of view and understanding everything that's happening in the state as much as your ability can, you should know at least 40%. And if you know more than 70 and you don't do anything, but you really want to, then you're procrastinating. All right, guys. Sorry. Trying to get through this without my itchy nose and runny nose. Appreciate your time. If you like what you heard, if this was of value to you, then I would encourage you to subscribe to this channel. Tap the bell if you're not already a subscriber. And shoot me lines, shoot me text. I'm getting a lot of responses from people. I'm setting them up on custom search engines, custom search tools, really curtailed to their desire of what they're looking for, whether it's on the market right now or not. But when it comes on, it's immediately they're immediately notified. That's from the buying perspective. From the investor perspective, like I said, working with quite a few of them, actually looking at cap rates, looking at places to invest in Maine as they see this market continuing to rise, just not as fast as it has. I mean, the Maine market grew by like 78.5% since 2019, which is the fastest in the country. With that, guys, stay warm, stay safe, stay out of trouble, and keep watching. And let me know in your comments if you have any questions, concerns, or you want to know about a different area of Maine. More than willing to share that with you. Just here for a resource. And I don't think I live by the motto, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So have a great day, guys. I'll get this out in a couple days. Today is February 4th, I think. So I should have this out in a couple days, which will be relevant to the January market conditions and starting of February. All right, guys, take care. Scott Tebow, over and out. Bye-bye.